Hey guys, and welcome to day 10 of the Warboss Taste July Painting Challenge. You were looking at the sum total amount of hobbying I got done today, which is to assemble, oh boy, here we go, assemble the mortar for this mortar team for the American force. Actually, I did wash all the metal pieces for the different guys, but I just now put this together, and it's a lot more fiddly than you think it would be. Mainly because it's metal, and this thing was actually three pieces: the base plate and the tube, and then the tripod. And to get it to fit in the yeah, look, super glue my fingers. To get it to fit onto the thing, you have to glue the tube onto the tripod first before you get any of the other work done, and that took me a lot of fiddly time. But I had some other errands that I had to run today. I had to go over to the church. I'm making my acting debut in this quarantine bit. The church that I go to, at least, has decided that it will not hold indoor services until things improve health-wise with everyone. Just because the population of the church is not the youngest or the healthiest. I'm one of the youngest men in the choir, and I'm in my 40s pretty well. But there's a lot of people with health problems, and what they don't need is the virus to get them. And so, anyway, they're doing all their services online, so I get to go and be Samson in an online movie, more or less, that they did. And it's just a quick little 15-20 minute thing. But I spent most of my day doing that. Well, most of my afternoon, and then keeping the kids busy, etc. All the same whines and complaints I do each bit. But this little bit here is quite fun. This was the main reason I decided to go with the dip method, the Army Painter Quick Shade, and that's because the polyurethane of the Quick Shade really does. Oh boy, well, you got some glue on your butt there, didn't you? It really does a good job of keeping the metal safe and unchipped, basically. Oh yeah, I've got to paint this after this, don't I? So I better think about how I put him on the base. So we'll let you rest there. But yeah, because metal models have an easy tendency to chip the whatever it is they use for this, which is not lead. It doesn't hold on to paint well unless you use like a heavy chemical lacquer paint, and even then it'll still chip. And so usually I use the good rattle cans of the enamel paints to get these things painted up. But the base coat that I've chosen for my Army is, again, it's a Walmart brand paint, or Walmart Rust-Oleum, that gives me the good color. And it's not as reliable as as lacquer, or as the model specific. There we go. Whoop. Model specific enamels and lacquer paints, and those thingies, primers. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. It's been a very long day. But today's big question. Let's move away from my rambling and go into a question. What is your favorite Army team force to play as in any war game? What is it about that play style that draws you to it? And which kind of ties into what I did today. I went to my friendly neighborhood religious establishment and played as a Bible character. I like the Zealots. When I play War Machine, I play as Minoth. When I played Fantasy Battle, I was the dwarves, but they are pretty zealous for their beer. So that's kind of the same thing. And I like, like yesterday I talked about how I would love to be an Inquisitor. Uh, in the as if a mini was made of me, I would love it to be inquisitorial, basically. And one of the reasons I like the zealot style, I played paladins when I played Warcraft. I played paladins when I played D&D back during the 1990s, the second edition. Is just because I like the old image of the Crusader Knight, of the fighting for a righteous cause, but I also really recognize the irony when it comes to my faith, which is supposed to be, in every instance that the Master he talked about being peaceful and not being mean, basically. Being nice and gentle and hey, look, this guy already has a head. I didn't need to get him one. All right. But, where violence is not the way, unless you're a Mandalorian. And so that, to me, the irony of that, and also the historical irony where that has not been the case, is why I like to play the zealot factions, the ones that are fired by religious fury or religious zealotry. That's why they're called zealots. And so that's what I usually go for. I guess you could probably get away with playing Tau in the 40K and think of them as religious zealots, because it's for the greater good, not for me, but for the greater good. But there we go. Little stowage man carrying in the extra supplies. Don't know if over there we go. I really kind of need another box or something for these guys to hold. Okay, I can get into that there. Let's have him be right about there. But again, zealotry and zealousness and religious war, to me, have always just had a draw to them. And so that's why I always choose the Inquisition, the Sisters of Battle, and the Protectorate of Minoth. All of them just really get my vote. Not in the least because they are there to die. That's the whole reason they join the army, is to give their life to the cause. Yeah, that'll have to be like that. And so if I happen to make a misstep and they go off to the left flank and then get totally murdered by some dude with a heavy flamer, it's like, well, okay, they knew what they were getting into when they signed up. But now I'm moving from talking to rambling. There we go. Oh, he should be a little bit more before the gel dries. There. Kind of looking downrange. There we go. And you can just be walking on to the back here. Private Cletus. There we go. And we'll put you right. I'll have you looking downrange too. You want to see where the shells are landing. There we go. There's a nice little mini diorama of mortarmen working to get those 81mm mortars downrange. But, well, there you go. I guess that'll be it for my question tonight. I do like the Zealots, but then again, when it comes to fantasy, I like the dwarves because they were my first army, and I like elves just because of Tolkien. And his writings always make one very appreciative of the high elf, of the Fëanorian Noldor, the men marching from Valinor, coming over to chop Melkor in the eyeball if they can, and then failing miserably. The tragic hero, I guess. But anyway, I hope you guys are having a good night. Hope that you enjoyed my rather incoherent ramblings. of this evening. And hope you guys are getting your hobby stuff done. I'll see you guys in the morning. Adios.